mathematicians. Today we're going to be learning about fractions, more specifically about subtracting fractions and mixed numbers with the same denominator. To get us started, here we have 4 over 5 minus 1 over 5. If the denominator is the same, we could go ahead and just subtract the numerators. So 4 minus 1 is equal to 3. And then because the denominators are the same, we just go ahead and leave that denominator. So 4 out of 5 minus 1 out of 5 is equal to 3 out of 5. It's like having 4 out of 5 parts, and we're taking away one of those parts. So we only have 3 out of 5 left over. So here we have another example, where we have 8 and 5 over 7 minus 3 and 2 over 7. Now, what we're going to do without changing the order is separate our whole numbers and our fractions. We're going to go ahead and subtract our whole numbers, which is 8 minus 3. So 8 minus 3, make sure you don't switch that order. And then go ahead and subtract our two fractions. So 5 over 7 minus 2 over 7, and write it here. So we know that 8 minus 3 is equal to 5. And now here, we're going to go ahead and subtract 5 over 7 minus 2 over 7. Because the denominators are the same, we could go ahead and just subtract the numerators. So 5 minus 2 is equal to 3, and leave our denominator of 7. So 8 and 5 over 7 minus 3 and 2 over 7 is equal to 5 and 3 over 7. So let's go ahead and do a different example. So we have 5 and 1 over 3 minus 4 and 2 over 3. Now, if we did 5 minus 4 and got 1, and then tried subtracting the fractions, we wouldn't be able to do 1 over 3 minus 2 over 3 without getting a negative number. So in this case, when the first fraction is smaller than the second fraction and we're subtracting mixed numbers, what we want to do is change our mixed numbers into improper fractions. So 5 and 1/3 is equal to 16 over 3, and then 4 and 2/3 is equal to 14 over 3. And then we go ahead and subtract these, because looking at our improper fractions, notice that the denominators are the same, so we just go ahead and subtract the numerators. 16 minus 14 is equal to 2, and then we just leave the denominator of 3. So 5 and 1/3 minus 4 and 2/3 is equal to 2 over 3. So let's do our last example here. Notice the same thing is true here. We can subtract our whole numbers, but then our first fraction in our mixed number here is smaller than this one. So we're going to go ahead and rewrite these two mixed numbers as improper fractions. So 8 and 1 over 4 is equivalent to 33 over 4. And 2 and 3 over 4 is equivalent to 11 over 4. So now, because we have two improper fractions with the same denominator, we go ahead and subtract the numerators. So 33 minus 11 is equal to 22, and then we keep the denominator of 4. So now we have 22 over 4, and that's an improper fraction, so we're going to go ahead and write that as a mixed number. So 22 over 4 is equal to 5 and 2/4. So 8 and 1/4 minus 2 and 3/4 is equivalent to 5 and 2/4. But notice here that we can simplify our fraction. If we divide both the 2 and the 4 by 2, we end up with 5.5. So 5 and 2/4 is equal to 5.5, making that our final simplified answer. And that's it for subtracting fractions and mixed numbers with the same denominator.